Crisis. How do you handle it? Astroworld and Travis Scott Crisis of 2021 by Tanisha Evans. The Astro World Festival is an annual music festival ran by American rapper and singer Travis Scott. The festival is held in Houston, Texas, and started in 2018. Although it is fairly new and a new attraction to Houston, it was to bring back the nostalgia of the Astro World, which was a childhood dream of Travis Scott. The festival in total brings over 50,000 people together from adults and children alike and usually has a hip hop lineup of entertainers for the 2 day event. During the 2021 event, while Travis was performing, the crowd began to rush the front to get on stage, and although the crowd started to scream that people, including children, were being trampled over and begging him to stop performing, 10 people lost their lives, including 5 children, and he continued to perform. When Travis was made aware of the situation, he took a few days before he made a public apology, and then a couple of weeks before he publicly said that he would pay for the funeral arrangements. Strong PR is important. If you followed the crises, you would understand how important having a strong public relation team is. Many compared the tragedy to the explosion that happened outside of Ariel Grande's concert. She immediately took responsibility of the situation, even though the explosion had absolutely nothing to do with her. When you follow the Astro World tragedy, Travis Scott's team did not take ownership of the situation. Although Travis Scott did not tell them to kill anyone, his lyrics and his performance was invoking the crowd to be violent and rowdy, which led to the event of people trying to rush the stage after numerous attempts of people trying to stop them. Right or wrong, the apology that he gave was not thoughtful or thought out and caused an even greater uproar. The parents of the victims didn't want him to pay for the funeral. They wanted to know, was there a human behind the artist? As my team takes a greater look at this, it would be better for us to develop a full distribution strategy from the start of the event until well after the event. We would have first had him take responsibilities of the actions of the followers that caused the deaths of his fans. There would have not been any way it would have looked like he blamed the fans that came. There were they were there to see him. I would have still had him pay for the funeral of the victims, but he would have personally made phone calls to discuss how they would want him to do that. The public did not need to know he was paying for the funerals unless the victims' families wanted it to be known. I think it's important to bring awareness to what causes the crowd rush and how important it is to be safe and allow everyone to have a good time. We would push for the Say Their Name movement to keep their memory alive, as well as the importance of proper crowd control. Then we would prepare for a better festival, discuss tighter securities, a no crowd rush policy, and then have a certain area where only kids, teens, and adults can be at. My team and I think one of the biggest problems of the event was that children were mingled with adults, and although most children were with their parents, it was not the type of event to have them so close together during the concert. The wording of how they had Travis Scott address the situation lacked empathy and compassion. The victims needed to hear him take responsibility for the action of his fans that was at an event he hosted and performed at. They should have had him state the apology for the lack of awareness around other people's safety that he didn't take into account when planning the festival. And because I don't think everybody out and planned for an emergency of that magnitude, I take full responsibility. The Astro World crises showed that if you don't say the right things when you address the situation, that is, it could actually cause more damage than bring some sort of peace or calm to the situation. Below are all of my references.